Galloway Water Project has been on the books for decades with the hopes of someday building a $500 million dam on the Weiser River, creating a large new reservoir.
Problem is, the Friends of the Weiser River Trail say not so fast, claiming the state of Idaho cannot flood them out.
It's an Idaho treasure that most people aren't aware of.
And the goal for the Friends of the Weiser River Trail is to get more people to come and walk, run, or jump on the saddle and ride the rails.
Horseback riders and bike riders,
we'll just
bicycle riders.
Go all the way to council, right?
Yep, you can go all the way to New Meadows.
The private nonprofit organization has spent years and thousands of volunteer hours converting 84 miles of an old rail line into what they feel is a recreational jewel.
It's just hard to realize how long it is and how many different terrain, much different terrain there is. I mean, down here we're in sagebrush and bare hills, lots of rock, but up at the top end you're in the pine trees.
But if the state has its way, a 17-mile stretch of the trail will be underwater.
Picture a toilet bowl less than half full of dirty water and you'll have an image of what this thing will look like.
Mike Larkin, who has worked for various fish and game departments for more than 30 years, describes the Galloway Project as a $500 million boondoggle. The Galloway Project is a detailed and expensive plan to dam up the Weiser River, creating a large reservoir state officials say would have a number of benefits.
To investigate whether new storage was a viable option statewide to help with long-term water management.
Not to mention jobs, and a lot of them. Project workers spending their paychecks up and down the valley. So what could be wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? It's still just temporary, Dawn. The trail and the river as they are now, if they're just left alone, that's a permanent thing that your grandchildren, my grandchildren can enjoy.
If our grandchildren are going to enjoy this section of the trail for decades to come, it may be the feds, and not so much Shirley Attenberry, that will be responsible for that. You see, the entire right-of-way was deeded to Friends of the Weiser River Trail in 1997 by the Union Pacific Railroad under what's known as the rail banking law.
We're covered by the federal umbrella, which is interesting because we've had litigation with adjacent property owners and who have filed in state court. And we've always been able to remove the lawsuit into federal court and prevail.
It's something the Idaho Water Resource Board is well aware of. They are prepared to be legally responsible in replacing the 17-mile stretch.
It would be relocated. It could be incorporated into the project costs, and actually improvements such as restrooms, stop areas, camp areas could be built into the project.
Bottom line, the dam will not be built anytime soon, giving the state and those opposed to Galloway plenty of time to talk.
We're looking forward to doing additional public outreach and giving people an opportunity to participate on more of a public level.
And unless a compromise can be found, Friends of the Weiser River Trail won't be too friendly with state water officials.
It's one of Idaho's last remaining free-flowing rivers. It is the 25th longest river in Idaho. It's too good to dam.
Oh, it is beautiful. Okay, yeah. So what happens next? And also, Donna, I was wondering about what other people, property owners in the area, actually think about all this.
Let me answer the second part first. It's fair to say some property owners might welcome the state offering them market value for their property. It's also fair to say some will fight it, which leads me to the first part of your question. What happens next?
Yes.
A lot of public hearings, a lot of negotiating, and most likely a lot of time to wait.
Years? Decades?
Possibly years.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks, Don.